Hello, hi, I'm Random Excess. You're tuned in to Arisen Strength Current Events. We are going to be talking about what's going on with Arisen Strength and other things. Going to let Shane talk about that. We've taken a little bit of a break, getting going, getting started, stopping, starting, um, getting new cameras, getting new setup. Just Sunday night, we launched with the Arisen Strength meet and greet. It was a nice panel of
Mhm.
people. Um, and I'd like to go ahead, uh, turn you over to host of Arisen Strength and spokesman for the JGF, Shane, so he can give you, all the good word of what's been going on with Arisen Strength, um, how the meet and greet went, and what more we can expect coming up soon. Shane, go ahead, take it away.
Well, thanks. Thanks for that nice, flattering greeting there. Um, yeah, we started off launching Arisen Strength. We've been doing this for a while now, but because of some good things and some challenging things, we had to postpone some things back and forth. Um, in the beginning, it was really good news. We were able to partner up with the JGF organization, which allowed us to have a much larger member base to be able to get our concept out to even more people out there that need us. And so that was a really good thing, and we were really happy about that. Um, then we ended up running into a whole bunch of different technical difficulty things, and it's not something that I really wanted to go through, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world either, because we are where we are now, and that's where we're supposed to be. And that's how I go about things when it comes to my higher powers driving the bus. I'm just broadcasting the message that's given. So this is where we're supposed to be. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I haven't been feeling well for a while, and it kind of showed on Sunday. I was really fortunate in order to have good friends, such as yourself, Wayne, as well as Crystal Murphy and Joey Aquilino, both of the JGF organization. And you know what? It was one of those things where it was supposed to happen that way because it felt right, and I think that we hit on something that not only is going to be good for Arisen Strength, but it's going to be good for the four panelists, as well as anybody who listens to the experience and the strengths that we have. And it's something that I'm really looking forward to. So, Sunday we did the meet and greet. Um, as you know, I, there was a number of different uh, ideas that people had about Arisen Strength. Some were very flattering. uh, Others were a little bit concerning to me. There was ones that were out there that I have no idea how they became linked to Arisen Strength, but I absolutely did not want to go in that direction. So it was my idea to do a meet and greet show, and that's what we decided to do on Sunday. And you know, we what I wanted to do is I wanted to be able to show people that that number one, there is a team called Arisen Strength. It's not just me, myself, and I by any means. And number two is that I wanted to show what it is that the team members of Arisen Strength and how they became team members of Arisen Strength and why. Um, we all went through our different challenges and our and struggles that we've gone through. Um, we mentioned we mentioned a pretty long list of things that between the four of us, we cover a whole lot of different things, and that was something that really worked out well because the member base that we have at Arisen Strength is has a vast difference, a number of different challenges that are out there, anywhere from physical challenges to emotional challenges. mental health challenges, experiences that people have had. There's a whole long list that's out there, and when people saw the meet and greet, they realized that they weren't the only ones, and that we have a pretty good idea what's out there and how we can help.
Right, yeah, it was real nice to be able to see some of the people. We got to meet Joey and Crystal, and of course myself, and then you. And you're right. We come from a lot of different things. With there's PTSD, chronic pain, sort of addiction, and Arisen Strength really does speak to all those people, to everybody who's, I think, struggled in life. And I think you bring forth a really good message for people, and it's definitely empowering to hear that people like yourself have made it through, and to hear their stories, and to see how your story can be a chapter in that book. And that's I know that's what you hope to do. You talk about a lot of times about the three pillars of Arisen Strength. I'd like you to go ahead and talk about that, because I think it's a really good message there. When you talk about the three pillars of Arisen Strength being, well, again, I'll let you go ahead and share that.
Well, we do. We go off of a three-pillar idea, and that is to support, to encourage, and empower. It's actually a double E, really, for me. And then the third would be to celebrate. And support, you can do that a number of different ways, and how we go about doing that is that we acknowledge that people go through things that aren't necessarily fair in life, and that we acknowledge that they're not making things up. There are a number of different illnesses and different pain-related conditions that are out there that have a stigma of being, in the head. It's all in their head. We don't do that. It's like we acknowledge the fact that these things are very real, that people are going through. These challenges and struggles are no joke. They are something that not only affect a person, but they change a person. And so we acknowledge the fact that what people are going through, and then what we try to do is we try to give them some education, maybe some education that they didn't otherwise know about. Give you an example. I have PTSD. Okay, I knew that I had PTSD for a while, for a good long while before I even started learning about it. I never really acknowledged it because, in my personal opinion, why would I want to remember something that I'm only trying to forget anyways? So that was my plan, not realizing that my entire instinctual life was based off of PTSD reactions. For instance, when I go into a restaurant, anybody who knows me, I am the one I'm facing towards the door. I know who's coming in and who's leaving. I know I pretty much have a survey real quick around me. When it comes to somebody who's shutting a door or something like that outside, I can almost tell you exactly who that individual is and what car they just came out of. I mean, we've joked about it a couple times. And in some ways it's cool to be able to have that, but in another way, when you realize that it's an illness and when you realize that it's something that's debilitating, is the exhaustion that follows along. And so a lot of people could, the stigma could be, well, he just needs to get over it. Well, let me tell you something. You don't get over something like that. In fact, your brain is literally formed in a different way. I mean, it literally forms differently because of the experience that somebody might have that has PTSD. And we talk about these things. These are subjects and some education that can literally be the lock and key to somebody's pain that they've been going through for far too long. And so That's how we do things when it comes to support. When it comes to encourage or empower, man, the biggest thing about Arisen Strength is that a person is not just what they're afflicted with. They're not just the challenge that they go through. They're not just the struggle that they face. They are more than that. They are stronger than that. And so we encourage and we give license to anybody to do better than what it is that they did the day before with the same problem that they had. You know, the whole idea of Arisen Strength was based off of something that was far-reaching. When you're talking about dreams, you're talking about talents, you're talking about capabilities that are out there. These are very far-reaching for people who go through the struggles and challenges that they faced, because they can't see it. It's something that became not only distant, but in some cases it's totally forgotten. And so, you know, we are telling people that to reach a little bit more, and we're going to help you get there, and we're going to help you do that. And that's the empowerment, that's the encouragement. When it comes to celebrate, this is fun, okay? Because, you know, I mean, you know me. I always look at different motivational videos. I'm a fired up type of guy. I'm looking at motivational videos. I'm looking at people changing lives, and the idea of celebrate is when taking people who utilize what Arisen Strength is all about and succeeding. Because it gives somebody that path. It gives somebody that encouragement to be able to say, hey, look, they did it, why can't I? And if I can't do it today, doesn't mean I can't do it tomorrow. And when I say dreams and so forth, some people were criticizing a little bit. When I say dreams and talents, I'm not talking about being a fireman. I'm not talking about being a basketball player. You know what I mean? In my case, I love golf. I always want to be a professional golfer. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be a professional golfer. I won't stop anybody from doing everything that they can to achieve their goal. But at the same time, dreams and talents don't necessarily mean that anymore. As we are, you know, growing, as we're maturing, some people are fantastic caregivers. Some people are fantastic supporters of others who are able to make things happen, you know, and that's what you're exceptional at. So we encourage you to utilize your strengths, to utilize your capabilities to the best, and you know, and that gives purpose. And I know when I was at my worst, when I was at my lowest, when I found a purpose, and my purpose came from my higher power, when I found my purpose, that gave me strength. That was my Arisen Strength. That all of a sudden I said, okay, I can do something here. I need to figure that out. And I wasn't going to be stopped. And I had challenges still, and I had struggles that I went through, but I wasn't going to be stopped. And I did a number of different things. I went from writing a book. I went from being a speaker, you know, doing presentations out at hospitals and out clinics and so forth. And you know, and now, you know, I'm the host of Arisen Strength, along with a lot of other things. So, you know, that is something that Arisen Strength is about. It's once you get it caught on fire, it's something that isn't going to be stopped, and that's something that I really look forward to watching other people do.
Oh. But one thing I like about it is one, you bring this message live. This is you know, this is something that, you know, people can actually see it when it's happening. But that's not the only option. I know that people do come live Sunday nights at 8 p.m. And sort of the easiest way to do that, I guess, is through the Facebook page. So you get the wonderful Arisen Strength Family Facebook page, where people can see the posts that have been accumulating there. They can watch the video or watch the broadcast live right in the Facebook page. They don't have to go anywhere, and they can also engage in live chat. while the show's happening with the other viewers. But that's not the only thing they can do. I mean, obviously, this stuff is being recorded to YouTube, so they can access the video later on if they can't make it during the live presentation Sunday nights at 8 p.m. I know they can see it at a different time. So I know the real magic is when it comes together on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Come to the Facebook page, watch the video live in the Facebook page while we chat live with the other viewers. But can you go ahead and talk about some other ways that people can engage with Arisen Strength if they can't make the live broadcast? What are some other things that they can do to sort of get involved or stay connected?
Sure, that's a great question. You know, as I mentioned before in the beginning of the show, we had a lot of technical difficulties that were just had me pulling the rest of my gray hair out of my head, and it came to the point as to where I had a discussion with you, and I had a discussion with a couple other people. It came to the point as to where I want to make this simple. I don't want people to have to go searching, and I don't want people to have to join other sites and everything like that. I don't want that right now. I want it to be simple. I want it to get the ball rolling. So we've decided that what we're going to do is we're going to embed the live broadcast within the page, within that group page. Now there's a whole bunch of things that I do. I've got Arisen Strength, I've got Serenely Speaking, and then I've got the JJF organization. This broadcast right now is probably being broadcasted in 10 different pages, live. And it is, I think it's exciting to be able to watch it live, because you're there as things are going along, and you never know. I might say something funny, or something might go crazy, or whatever the case may be, or something very emotional, which at the meet and greet, there was a lot of emotional moments there, So anyways, it's great to see it live, and live being is at 8 o'clock on Sunday nights. So what we do is we literally are embedding it into the page, so that people, all they have to do, refresh your browser, and then simply hit the triangle play button, and right there on the page, out comes the screen, and you're there. Now, not everybody can be there at that time, and we totally understand that. But that doesn't mean that video is going to go anywhere. It's still going to be on the page for you to look at post the live show. So it's always going to be there. Another thing that what we've come up with is also, we do an hour-long show. It's a long show, but it goes by fast for us. But for viewers and for people who have to get ready for work and everything like that, totally understand that. So what we try to do is after each show is we try to break it down into smaller segments, so that people can look at each one, at their convenience and during their time. And it seems to be, really getting some good feedback on that. Other ways of being able to contact Arisen Strength, we have our email, which is arisenstrength@gmail.com. We also have our Twitter, which is @ArisenStrength, all one word. If you want to tweet to us, we have the hashtag ArisenStrength, again, all one word. And then we have our Facebook page, which is Arisen Strength, and then the group itself, which was started last week, is called the Arisen Strength Family. And the reason why I changed that was I literally took time to speak to 50 members of Arisen Strength. And when I say speak to them, I mean more than just advertising what the show is all about. I literally listened to some people. I literally listened to each and every one of them, what the kind of struggles that they have gone through, what are their, somebody's son was having problems with lupus. Another girl, Abby, which is Amy's daughter, she goes through Lyme disease. And I listened quite a bit to these people, and I talked to Paul Kerwood, of which he's from Australia, and he has his own page out there that has to do with bullying and has to do with alienation of children and so forth. So a lot of different things, and that kind of really fall into what Arisen Strength is all about. So I talked to these people, and I realized that I started feeling and thinking about these people as if they were my family. So it just fit as to where when we developed the group itself, I decided to say, okay, this is going to be called the Arisen Strength Family. So that's our group page. And during our show at 8 o'clock on Sunday nights, we want people to contact us. We're going to be looking over the Facebook page of the group page and the page itself of Arisen Strength, and we're going to be looking at Twitter. So if you have any questions, if there's any any comments that want to be said, we want to get those, because this show doesn't go anywhere without its members. It doesn't go anywhere without its audience, and that's no different than any other show. But this one really needs the audience to participation, and so. And if you don't want to do it live, we definitely encourage you to send an email to us, so that, because we want to know what type of struggles are out there. I know a lot of them. I don't know all of them. You know what I mean? And I don't have a clue as to what Lyme disease feels like. Or lupus. My uncle has lupus. But I don't really know what it feels like to go through that. And we want to hear from people so that we can learn about it more, and then we can advocate for those people. And and that's what Arisen Strength is really all about, is to advocate for the people that can't or have found it tough to advocate for themselves.
Now you have the Facebook group, and then there's the Facebook page. So in the Facebook group, how do people get about joining the group, or if they want to be part of the group? What's that process like? Can you explain that a little bit?
Oh, sure. It's simple. Here's the thing. Facebook does not like businesses to be in a profile. So we had a profile page with Arisen Strength, and then it grew. I mean, it grew 250 members like it was nothing. So before we start falling into issues with Facebook and everything, we decided, okay, we're going to move into a group. All you have to do is go into groups and search for the Arisen Strength family, and it'll bring you right there. And all you have to do is say that you like the page, or you like the group, and you're automatically in. It's a public group. It's not a closed off group. It's not a secret group. It's a public group. So we definitely want people to be involved with the Arisen Strength movement, because that's the only thing that makes it worthwhile.
All right. Right. So there we've seen so we got the email, we got the Twitter, Facebook, and again, you can watch everything live. You can get involved with the group chats. And then we got coming up Sunday. Sunday comes around very quick. What do we got coming up for this Sunday, Shane? Can you give us a little hint? We'll talk about that a little bit.
You're right. Sunday does come quicker than what it ever did before. What we're going to talk about this Sunday is the subject that I've been advocating for, and I've been advertising about for the better part of 2 months now, and that's bullying. Now, I'm not saying that this. Listen, this is a subject that impassions me to no end. I don't like bullying. I never did. I didn't like it as a kid. I like it even less as an adult. But in advertising and everything like that, I don't want to drive people away. You know, and it's like, yeah, we're having the show, we're going to talk about bullying and everything, and then we have technical difficulties or whatever, you know. And so it's been kind of crazy. But believe me, you want to see this show. And I'll tell you what, your, Sir Wayne, is a big portion of why these people want to see this show. Because your story that you tell about your experience in bullying is something that I kept on canceling things because I didn't want to minimize what it is that your story was telling. Because I fully believe that not only does it affect me, I know it's going to affect a whole lot of people out there. Because there's a lot of people out there that are being bullied in a lot of different ways, and they definitely can benefit from your story. So literally, you're the reason why I've been backing it off for a lot of the time. And then also, you know, with our panel, there's gonna be personal experiences that have gone through bullying. I've had my own, you know, as to where some have been life-changing, and some have been very traumatic for me. So, you know, it's a subject that I do not want to minimize, but I don't want to drive people away. So I ask you, you the audience, definitely come and watch this show. And you know, it's like I'm going to advertise it again over the next 3 days. But I don't want it to seem as if like I'm just pushing you away. I want you to come to see the show because it's going to be well worth it. It's going to be some education. We're going to talk about some numbers that are going to make people absolutely terrified as much as it does make them angry. And we're going to talk about there's a lot of different ways bullying goes around now. And this is not, this one show is not going to cure this problem by no means. But if whatever we can do to bring awareness to it and some help to it, we're going to do, and we're going to do it often. So, you know, I really do encourage people to come and watch the show this Sunday at 8 o'clock because it's going to be emotional, it's going to be educational, and it's going to be memorable.
All right. So that's I guess we'll be coming back Sunday night. We'll have the Arisen Strength family, rather the rest of the panel, of course the family that are joining us. So hopefully we'll all be there with Joey, Crystal, me, you, and like you said, bullying just barely touches it's barely going to scratch the surface, but it's going to be a conversation starter, and hopefully give a voice to the bullied, and then that's part of hopefully what will go on with the chat room and the group chats and with the show is everyone will get a chance to take to start the conversation, right. As is with so many problems in the world. It's the conversation starter. So that'll be Sunday night. Come to the Facebook group page, join in on the group chat, or try and find us any other number of ways. As Shane outlined, this is Random Access, and please join us Sunday night. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.